Good afternoon, everyone. Let us start. Remember, we have been learning the last chapter, that is chapter 7, Lifelines of National Economy. Today we shall discuss about railways and pipelines. Now I shall present my screen. Railways, another mode of land transport. Okay, last time we discussed about roadways, one of the means of land transport, and railway is the another one. So let us start here. This paragraph tells the significance of railways to the economy of India. Okay, let us read. So railways are the principal mode of transportation for freight and passengers in India. Okay, railways are an important mode of transportation for freight, means for carrying goods and passengers. Okay, and railways also make it possible for people to conduct multifarious activities like business, sightseeing, pilgrimage, along with transportation of goods and over longer distances. Okay, that means railways are suitable for carrying goods, okay, heavy and bulky goods for long distances. And at the same time, railways, okay, also make it possible for people to conduct multifarious activities, means different types of activities like business, sightseeing, that is tourism, pilgrimage, okay, as well as the transportation of heavy and bulky goods for long distances. And apart from important means of transport, the Indian railways have been a great integrating force for more than 150 years. Okay, in the history also you may be learning that because of the railway lines, the whole India was integrated and fought against the British. Okay, and still after independence also, railways have been acting as an integrating force. Okay, and that is why it is said that railways in India bind the economic life of the country, as well as the accelerate the development of the industry and agriculture. Railways bind economic life of India, and railways also promote development of industries and agriculture. Okay, railways transport raw materials to the industries, and it also carries the finished products to the marketplaces, and likewise agricultural products are also transported by railways in India. So in this way, railways are very important, okay, for the economic development of a country like India. And here in this box, okay, we have a very important information. The Indian Railways is the largest public sector undertaking in the country. Okay, railways is the largest public sector undertaking, means government owned. Okay, and the first train steamed off from Mumbai to Thane in 1853 Pt-3 covering a distance of 34 kilometers. So this is another important information. Okay, do not forget. And see here, the first train steamed off from Mumbai to Thane in the year 1853, covering a distance of 34 kilometers. And another important information, the Indian Railways is now reorganized into 16 zones. So to maintain, okay, actually on the for administrative purpose, the Indian Railways is divided into 16 zones, say in this way. So here we have the names of 16 railway zones are here. Okay, so to ease the maintenance of these railways in India, 16 railway zones are divided, okay, in India, and those railway zones are here. Here in the first column, names of the railway zone is given. Then here date of establishment, and here in the third column or in the last column we find the headquarters of the railway zones. So the first railway zone is the central zone. Headquarters is at Mumbai CST, okay, Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminal. Then next we have East Central Zone, and headquarters Hajipur, okay. Then East Coast Zone we have Bhubaneswar. Then Eastern Zone we have Kolkata as a headquarter. Then North Central we have Allahabad. Then Northeastern Zone we have Gorakhpur. Then Northwestern Zone we have Jaipur. Then Northeast Frontier Zone, okay, we have Maligaon near Guwahati. Northern Zone we have Delhi as the headquarter. South Central we have Secunderabad. Then Southeast Central we have Bilaspur. Then Southeast Zone we have Kolkata again. Then Southwestern we have Hubli or Hubali. Then Southern Zone Chennai as the headquarter. Then West Central Jabalpur, and Western Zone Mumbai Church Gate. So these are the 16 railway zones in India with the headquarters, okay. And here actually the railway zones are here, okay. Actually this is a schematic diagram only. So here see here we have the northern railway zone, and see here in this area, okay. So this area northern railway zone, and likewise we have this northeast frontier railway zone is here, okay. So in this way the whole India is divided into 16 zones. And so for example this is north western railway zone, okay. And likewise we have this southern railway zone, okay. Then we have south central, okay. So and so on, okay. This is this area southwestern railway zone. Then western railway, okay. So western railway is here. Then this central railway, okay, and so on. and headquarters, I have already read out the headquarters also. Okay, and here we have a map. Okay, showing location of headquarters. Okay, see here Delhi, Jaipur, then Gorakhpur is here, Allahabad is here, Hajipur, Malegaon near Guwahati, Jabalpur, Bilaspur, Kolkata, Bhubaneswar, Mumbai CST and Churchgate, Secunderabad, Hubli and Chennai. So these are the headquarters of the these railway zones. Okay. Are you clear? Any question from your side, boys and girls? Remember, railways are very important, okay, for the economic development of India, and we have already read out the significance of railways to the economy of India, and we also have learned 16 railway zones of India. Okay, so let us continue. Here the distribution pattern of railway network in the country has been largely influenced by physiographic, economic and administrative factors. So when we see this railway map of India, okay, so when you see any railway map of India here, okay, so you will see that the network of railway is not uniform. So we find a dense network of railway here, okay, in these northern plains, and we find less number of railway lines here in the northeast India. Okay, and here over the plateau area also we have moderate density. Okay, so in this way, when we look the railway map, the distribution of this railway network is not uniform. So for this we have certain factors. Okay, these are mainly influenced by physiographic, economic and administrative factors. So let us continue. Say about the physiographic factors, the northern plains. Okay, the northern plains with their vast level land, high population density and rich agricultural resources provided the most favorable condition for the growth. Why is there a dense network of railways over the northern plains, over the Ganga plain? So here in the Ganga plain, over the northern plains, so we have these flat lands, okay, vast level land, then population density is very high, and agricultural resources are very rich, and that is why provide the favorable condition for the growth. Remember, if there is no product, okay, then say development of this railway network may not be there. Development of railway network is there only when there is population, only when there is production, or only when there are resources. Okay. And in the hilly terrains, okay, let us proceed. In the hilly terrains of the Peninsula region, then railway tracks are laid through the low hills and the gaps and tunnels. Actually, Peninsula region very a rocky surface, okay, a high land, and here construction of railway line is somewhat difficult as compared to the northern plain. And railways are laid through the low hills, okay, crystalline these after cutting the crystalline hard rocks, or okay, in the form of tunnels or gaps, and that is why the density is moderate. Then the Himalayan mountains too are unfavorable for the construction of railway lines due to high relief, means due to the high mountains, then sparse population, less number of people, and a lack of economic opportunities, means there is less development of industries. Okay, and likewise it was difficult to lay railway lines on the sandy plains of western Rajasthan, then swamps of Gujarat, then forested tracts of Madhya Pradesh, okay, and Chhattisgarh, Orissa, Jharkhand. Okay, and the contiguous trace of Sahyadri, that is Western Ghat, could be crossed only through the gaps or passes, that is ghats. Okay, so just see here in this area, okay, see in this area, here we have the Western Ghats, and here the construction of railway line is very difficult. However, we are constructing, okay, after cutting gaps and tunnels. And in the recent time, development of Konkan Railway along the west coast has facilitated the movement of passengers and goods in the most important economic region of India. Okay, see here, just in this area, just I have indicated here. Okay, just in this area, Konkan railway line is here along these Western Ghats, but this area is economically rich region. Okay, these industrial products are there, then mining products are also there, and that is why railway lines are developed, but they are very costly. Okay, and this Konkan railway line has also faced a number of problems, such as sinking of track in some stretches and landslides in the Western Ghats. Okay, sometimes railway lines are sinking down because of heavy rainfall, and landslides also block the railway tracks. Okay, so in this way, the density of railway network is influenced by the physical, economic, and administrative factors. Okay, so any question, boys and girls, are you clear? Okay, if you don't have, let us continue. Here in this table, so here in this table number 7.1, okay, this information about the railway tracks are given, and so we have known that the total length of rail route in India is okay, 68,442 kilometers. Okay, and here we have three types of railway gauges in India. Those are broad gauge, then meter gauge, and narrow gauge. Okay, these are the three types of gauges. Then what do you mean by gauge? Do you have information? Do you know? Actually, see.
No, sir.
Okay, so this is the railway track. Okay, and I think you are seeing long this beam of iron, and on the one side also we have another beam of iron, and this beam of iron is known as a rail. Okay, see here, so this is a beam of iron, and this is another beam of iron, and this is known as rails, and the wide between the two rail here, okay, the wide between the two rail here is known as the gauge. Let us see another diagram. See here, just read this area. Okay, the gauge of a railway track is defined as the clear minimum perpendicular distance between the inner faces of the two rails. So this is the iron beam, okay, and this is known as a rail, and this is another rail, and the distance between the two rails is known as a gauge, okay. And so generally we have 3 types of gauges in India, but in the world we have 4 types, okay. See here, broad gauge, see here, broad gauge. So from here up to here, just see here, just from here to up to here is known as broad gauge. The width of the gauge is this 1676 millimeter, that is 167.6 centimeter to this 152.4 centimeter. Then we have standard gauge. Actually standard gauge mainly are used in England. Then we have meter gauge, and a width is given here, okay. And the last one is the narrow gauge. Narrow gauge, the width of the gauge is 76 centimeter, okay, 76 centimeter to 61 centimeter. Just let us read the table. See here, broad gauge, actually for the case of India, the average width is 1.676 meter. For the meter gauge, the width is 1 meter, and for the narrow gauge, it is 76 centimeter or 0.76 meter to 0.61 meter. And the length of broad gauge is 63,491, and for meter gauge 3,200 kilometers. Then for the narrow gauge 1,751, and the total length of the railway line in India is 68,442. okay. Route length. So let us continue. Here, any question regarding the gauges? I think you may be clear. So let us proceed. This paragraph tells problems of Indian railways, okay. We have learned that railways have become more important in our national economy than all other means of transport put together, okay. Just when we compare railway lines with other means of transport like roadways, waterways, and airlines, okay, railways are more important, okay, to the economy of India. However, Indian railways suffer from certain problems like given here, okay. Many passengers travel without tickets. Number one problem. Passengers travel without tickets, mainly in the northern plains. So then another one is thefts and damaging of railways property has not yet stopped completely. Okay, thefts and robbery and damaging of the railway property not yet stopped completely. Then people stop the trains, pull the chain unnecessarily, and this causes heavy damage to the railways. Okay, sometimes because of say some unimportant problems, okay, a little one, so people just pull the chain and so to stop the train, and this may sometimes, okay, cause delay. So these are the problems faced by the railways in India. Okay, number one, people travel without tickets. Then number two, thefts and damaging of railway property. Then the third one is the unnecessary stop of the trains. Okay, so these are the problems. And any question regarding the railway lines?
No, sir.
Okay, then now let us take up another means of transport, that is pipeline. Okay, I think all of you are familiar with the pipeline. So this is a photograph showing a pipeline, and we have one more photograph. Okay, so this is also a photograph showing pipelines. And what is the significance of pipelines? Let us read. Okay, usefulness of pipelines. So pipeline transport network is a new arrival on transportation map of India. Okay, is a new means of transport in India. And in the past, say, pipelines were used to transport water to cities and industries only. Okay, but now pipelines are used for transporting these crude oil, then petroleum products, natural gas, from oil and natural gas fields to refineries, to the fertilizer factories, big thermal power plants. And solids also can be transported through a pipeline when converted into slurry. Nowadays we are transporting coal and iron ore, okay, through the pipeline using liquid as a slurry. So in this way, importance of pipelines have been increasing day by day. Once it was used to transport water to cities and to industries only, but nowadays it has been used to transport crude oil and natural gas to different places of India. Then solids like iron ore and coal are also transported through the pipeline using liquids. Okay, and say the far inland locations of refineries like Barauni, Mathura, Panipat, and gas-based fertilizer plants could be thought of only because of pipelines. Actually, here in Barauni, Mathura, Panipat, okay, we don't have this oil refinery. Actually, oils, okay, are transported. Petroleum is transported from the petroleum field, from the oil field to this area for refining. And if there were no transport, I mean pipeline transport, then it may not be there. Okay. And for the pipeline, the initial cost of laying pipeline is high, but the subsequent running cost is minimal. When we construct the pipeline, so it may be costly, but afterwards the maintenance cost is very, very low. And one important advantage of this pipeline transportation is that it rules out transshipment losses or delays. Okay, it rules out transshipment losses or delays. So what does it mean? Just see here. Okay, say transshipment, say for example railway line, for example. So here we have broad gauge, for example. So this is broad gauge. In the plain areas we mainly use broad gauge, and say in the hilly areas, for example in the mountainous areas, we uses narrow gauges and meter gauges. Okay, the smaller one. So from the hilly areas, forest product may be transported, and as soon as it reaches, when it reaches the plain area, okay, we need to transship. We need to do unloading here and loading here. Okay, products are to be unloaded from the narrow gauges and to be loaded on the broad gauge. This is what we call transshipment. So in the case of railway, there is transshipment losses and delays. Okay, and say when we transport other these products, then there may be damage of the items also. But when we transport, say for example, oil is transported from in the plain areas, okay, using broad gauges, and when we are going to transport the petroleum to the mountainous area, we have to transship the oil to the narrow gauge. So in this case, we face the problem of this delay. Sometimes damage also may be there. But when we lay pipelines, then such type of these damages and transmission delay is not there. It can be interconnected, okay, in the form of network. So in India, we have the three important networks of pipeline transportation in the country, okay, and say the first one is the pipeline from oil field in Upper Assam to Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh via Guwahati, Barauni. Okay, the first pipeline. So we have a map here, and so this is the map. So the first pipeline is starting from here. Okay, Upper Assam area as given here. See, Upper Assam to Kanpur. Kanpur is here. Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, via Barauni and Allahabad. Barauni is here in Bihar, and Allahabad is somewhere here. So this is the first pipeline, and it has branches from Barauni to Haldia via this Rajaban. So this pipeline has branches from Barauni to Haldia. Haldia is here, okay, in West Bengal. Via Rajaban. Rajaban is here, okay. So this is another branch. And Rajaban to Maurigram and Guwahati to Siliguri. And another one is Rajaban to Maurigram. So Rajaban is here, Maurigram is here, okay, Maurigram. Rajaban to Maurigram. And another one is from Guwahati to Siliguri. Actually Siliguri is here, okay, Siliguri is here and Guwahati is here. So this is another branch. And the second pipeline is the pipeline from Salaya in Gujarat to Jalandhar in Punjab, okay, via Biramgam, then Mathura, Delhi, and Sonipat. Okay, the second one is Salaya in Gujarat to Jalandhar. Okay, Salaya in Gujarat to Jalandhar. So Salaya is here. See, Salaya is here to Jalandhar. Jalandhar is here. Okay, this is the second pipeline. And see, you must know that here the red one, okay, indicates the product pipeline, and the blue one indicates the pipeline for carrying this crude petroleum. For example, here from Upper Assam to Barauni, petroleum is transported. And the other colors like yellow, okay, yellow one is for transporting the natural gas, and the greenish one is under construction. Okay, so this is the second pipeline from Salaya to Jalandhar. Okay, Salaya to Jalandhar via Birangram, Mathura, and Delhi. And here, just see here, Delhi is here. Okay, Mathura is here. Okay, then it has branches to connect Koyali near Vadodara in Gujarat, Chakshu, and other places. So it has branches to connect Koyali. Okay, Chakshu also there, and here Chakshu is here. Okay, Chakshu is here. Then the third one is very important one. Okay, gas pipeline from Hazira in Gujarat connects Jagdishpur in Uttar Pradesh via Bijaypur in Madhya Pradesh. So this is the famous SBJ pipeline. Okay, Hazira in Gujarat okay, to Jagdishpur in Uttar Pradesh through Vijaypur in this Madhya Pradesh. So it is here. So this pipeline is used for transporting natural gas. Okay, Hazira is here. See, Hazira. Vijaypur is here, and Jagdishpur is somewhere here. Okay, so this is the famous SVJ Hazira, then Vijaypur, Jagdishpur. So this is the famous. This is the famous what? SVJ pipeline. Okay, and so it has branches in Quetta in Rajasthan, then Shahjahanpur, Barbarala, and other places in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so it has branches also. This SVJ, for example, Quetta in Rajasthan. Okay, here it is Quetta is here, and other places are not indicated since it is a small map. Okay. So this is the map showing the distribution of pipelines in India. Okay, remember the blue color indicates this pipeline transporting crude oil. Then the yellow one is the pipeline used for transporting this natural gas. Okay, and the red one is the product pipeline. That means it is used for transporting products, maybe iron ore or coal, okay, as a slurry. Are you clear? Any question from your side, boys and girls, regarding pipelines? See, one important advantage of pipeline is that we do not need any manpower for transporting the product. Okay, we use the gravity, we use the slope, and if we have the slope, then it can be transported very easily, maybe liquid or maybe solid. Okay, unlike other means of transport, say for the railway lines, for the roadways, we need manpower. Drivers are there, handymen should be there, and we need fuel for driving the vehicles also. But in case of pipeline, we don't need fuel, we don't need drivers and handymen for transporting the commodities. So this is one of the most advantages, okay, important advantages of the pipelines. Okay, then if you don't have questions, then let us stop here for today. Thank you very much for joining my class.